Jiminy Crickets!
I'm the guy they call Little Mickey Mouse. Got a sweetie down in the chicken house. Neither fat nor skinny, she's the horse's. Winnie is my little Minnie Mouse. When it's feeding time for the animals, and they howl and growl like the cannibals, I just turn my heel to the hen house steel, and you'll hear me sing this song. I have listened to the cuckoo his cuckoo, and I've heard the rooster's cock-a-doodle-doo. With the cows and the chickens, they all sound like the dickens when I hear my little Minnie.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our 6th installment of our mini-sodes, our mini episodes, which means we are not editing this show. This is all an impromptu conversation. And for this show, we thought we'd invite our old friend Will Dodson, who's been on sabbatical lately. But he's coming back to Jiminy Crickets because recently he went to Walt Disney World and we wanted to do a trip report. So, welcome back to the show, Will.
Hello, it's good to be back. It's been a while.
And also with us is Ruthie Brown, the baddest cat in the whole darn town.
Hello.
Meaner than a junkyard dog. No. Anyway, enough oldies, and let's talk about your trip to Walt Disney World, Will. Tell us everything. Just start at the beginning, and like the Mad Hatter said, when you get to the end, stop.
Okay, I will. Well, basically, I got there on a Sunday and I left on a Friday. It was a lot of fun. And thanks for listening,
all right,
guys.
Well, okay. The next show will be...
No, it was amazing. I have not... this is really embarrassing to admit on a Disney show, especially considering I'm on 2 Disney shows, this one included. But I have not been to a Disney park in 2 years. I've been so busy, which is always a good thing. I'm a very busy person, and I love that I'm busy, but I have my composing career, and I obviously have Sideshow Sound Radio and all the things we do over there, so I just somehow, some way, did not go to Disney World, which I live literally 2.5 hours from in 2 years, and thought that it was time to change that, so I planned a trip with Todd Horan, who listeners will remember as being one of the 3 caballeros on this very show, up until about 10 months ago when he departed. He's also still on Mouse Music, which is our Disney show on Sideshow Sound Radio, and Rachel Herrick, who has been on Mouse Music since the beginning as well. So the 3 of us just kind of planned this impromptu trip where we'd meet at Disney World in April, and that's exactly what we did, and it was a lot of fun. So Todd flew in from Monticello, Minnesota to Orlando International on Sunday afternoon. And my original plan was to my original plan was to actually take the train from West Palm Beach, where I live, to Orlando on Monday, because my car is a little, so I'm about to get a new car, but right now I don't trust the one I have to make it to Orlando, so I was going to take the train, and Todd decided, actually, I'll just rent a car. He was planning on renting a car anyway. So he rented a car and drove from Orlando International straight to West Palm Beach immediately after he got off his plane. And he met me here literally at 8 o'clock at night. And then we departed and headed back to Orlando and got there around 11:30-ish. And literally checked into our hotel right before midnight. So, my mic is falling. Sorry if anybody heard that.
Everybody heard it.
So big shout out to Todd, because I did not ask him to do that, and that must have been a really rough travel day for him. I mean, like, as far as I know, he got up at, I think it was 2 a.m. in Minnesota to catch his plane, had a bunch of layovers to get to Florida, and then immediately after departing his plane, got in his rent-a-car and drove down here and scooped me up, and then we drove back. And he never complained once about being tired, and I know I was tired, so yeah, big shout out to Todd. I've, of course, told him a million times how much I thought that was awesome. He just didn't want me to show up on Monday. He wanted us to kind of just roll right into the trip, and it was cool. So when we got back to our hotel, once we were, in our hotel, Sunday evening, Monday morning, around midnight, that was when Rachel was departing LA. So she had a red eye from LA to Orlando and was literally scheduled to land at, I think, 6 in the morning. So we had to immediately go to sleep and try to sleep while she was flying just to get any sleep that we could. And then we had to get up at 5 a.m. and then drive to Orlando International and pick her up. And that's what we did. And then so finally, Monday morning around 6:37-ish, we were all united together for the first time. I've never met Todd before in person. I've never met Rachel before in person. So that was really cool. Rachel, I got out of the rent-a-car to grab her suitcase. And the first thing she said was, "You're way taller than I thought you would be." And she's actually very short. I don't know if you guys have listened to her or seen her videos on YouTube, but she's like 5'1", 5'2". She's a very little person. So that was cool to see her in the flesh, you know, in living color or whatever, in 3D. And so we went back to the hotel so Rachel could, you know, freshen up, do whatever. We had breakfast. By the way, we were staying at All Star Music, which I've never stayed at before. I've stayed at All Star Movies before, but All Star Music was a first for me. And you know, these hotels, the All-Stars, they get a bad rap, I think, because they are obviously budget Disney hotels. But, you know, what do you expect? You know, it's on property. You get transportation, you know, door to door. You know, it's basically a really nice Motel 6 with Disney stuff all over it. And that's what you're going to get. I've stayed at nicer Disney hotels. I've stayed at, like, Caribbean Beach before and things like that. And honestly, like, you know, they are nicer, but, you know, it's the same experience. I mean, it's just different theming, basically. So that's my minor defense of All Star. I'd stay there again. I'd stay there again. I would stay there again. Sorry, I've had a lot of caffeine tonight. Yeah, go All Star. So the first day we went to the Animal Kingdom. That was Monday, and Rachel hadn't been to the Animal Kingdom in 10 years, and I believe Todd hadn't been in 10 years as well. And we just kind of moseyed around, checked out Avatar Land, although we didn't ride any of the rides, or Pandora World, or whatever the hell it's called. I still don't quite have that one right, but we did not ride the Na'vi Journey, the river ride. We didn't do that. We didn't do the new whatever
Flights
that
of Passage.
Thank you, Flights of Passage. That's just how little I care about that entire thing. It looks really nice, though. I mean, they've done a great job with the theming of the area. It's beautiful. It's very immersive. We went during the daytime. I've been told it's actually a lot nicer at nighttime. So I'll have to check that out again on a future trip. What else did we do? We did It's Tough to Be a Bug. That's kind of the prerequisite. Everybody's got to do that. We did the safari, Kilimanjaro Safaris. That's a must-do on every trip I ever take to Animal Kingdom. I'm still so happy they got rid of the Simba one backstory thing, that little side kind of, you know, faux poacher storyline. I was never a fan of that, so I've always liked that they've gotten rid of that, and I'm glad they've stuck to that. But they don't even have... I mean, it's basically just a real safari now. It's just, you know, there's no, you know, music. There's no, you know, additional sort of theming, anything like that. It's just get in the truck. You're leaving for 2 weeks, and you go on a safari. So that was really cool. And Rachel and Todd did Expedition Everest. I'm not a big fan of Expedition Everest. I know it's a great roller coaster, and I'm a total roller coaster junkie. But my speed is Big Thunder and Space Mountain and things like that. I just don't like the backwards portion. I never have, and I know that I get a lot of grief from friends of mine who are like, "Come on, it's not that bad," and it's not that bad. It really isn't. I mean, it's not the scariest roller coaster you're ever going to ride. I just don't particularly enjoy it, so it's like a once every 5 trips kind of deal for me. And so they did that. I stayed behind and you know, guarded base camp while they rode that, and Rachel had never done it. She thought it was really cool. She loved it. Todd, of course, is a big roller coaster junkie, so, you know, of course, he loved it. And the big sort of thing that we had going on Monday was we had to be at the Magic Kingdom by 6 because we had a reservation at Be Our Guest. So we left Animal Kingdom around 4:30-ish, got to the Magic Kingdom, had dinner at Be Our Guest, which my second time doing that, and the first time for Todd or Rachel. Have either of you done Be Our Guest by any chance yet?
I did
had a tour, remember? I had a guided tour of Be Our Guest.
Right, but have you ever eaten there?
I didn't eat there. I didn't get I tried to, but I couldn't get a reservation.
Okay. What about you, Ruthie? Have you ever...
I've eaten breakfast there and lunch, but not dinner.
Okay. Dinner's okay. I've never done breakfast or lunch there. Both times I've been there, I've done dinner. I mean, I think it's actually... It depends on how big of a Beauty and the Beast fan you are, I guess. But I find the menu to be just slightly lacking, at nighttime. I've heard lunch is actually really good. I've heard breakfast
Did you try the gray stuff? It's delicious.
I did on the first trip, though. I did on the first trip. I like the gray stuff. It's actually pretty good. I still have no idea.
It is delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. So we did that, and Ring.
That's my phone. Just ignore that, everybody.
Live without a wire.
Did you Did you try the LeFou's brew? That's so good.
Oh, I've done that a bunch of times. Yeah, we didn't do that on this trip. We just didn't have time. We were kind of running from place to place, but yeah. So we had a fast pass for Haunted Mansion, of course, and we did that. And then Rachel had a friend who works at Universal that wanted to meet up with her, and it's someone she's worked with before, a fellow puppeteer, because Rachel is a puppeteer, for those who don't know. And we met her at Trader Sam's, which I have never been to Trader Sam's since they brought it over here. And oh my God, I can't believe I've never been to Trader Sam's before. Oh my God, what a crazy, awesome place to get wasted.
What did you drink?
I just had beer. But Todd got the, I believe...
That's boring.
I know.
Why would you just get beer? There's so many cool drinks.
I like to party, Chris, and I like to keep the party going. You know what I mean? And if I stick with beer, I can party as long as everybody else wants to party. But if I start drinking liquor, I'm sleeping, like within about 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the sugar or if it's just the fact that I'm kind of a lightweight. So, yeah, so I had beer, but Todd ordered, I don't know what it's called. It came out in this like collectible Nautilus drinking glass thingy that was freaking amazing. They did this whole ceremony where they said that we had to, appease the tiki gods because we angered them because Todd drank this thing, and the waiter went around like spraying everybody with like water out of his. It was awesome. It was such a cool experience. It's like somebody took the tiki room and
the gods have been angered by all the drinking.
Yeah, and you have to appease them by doing a shot. It's just so cool. It's like, and it's this little tiny place that they don't even advertise that much in the Polynesian. Like, you have to look for it.
I couldn't find it the first time. I had to ask a cast member because I couldn't even find it.
Wendell Jones and I, my sideshow partner, we went 2 years ago, and we couldn't find it. We were looking for it, and then we had kind of a time schedule crunch, and we had to go, but we couldn't find it either. So, yeah, it's like off in the corner. But man, is it worth the experience. Even if you don't drink, just go in there. It's so cool just to see what they do. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun. And so that was day one. We ended that night by hitting Trader Sam's and then heading back to the old homestead, which was All Star Music. And we
which musical genre did you stay in?
Jazz.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool little
cool jazz.
Cool jazz. Yeah. Yeah, lots of pictures of that area. I just like All Star, man. I don't know why people give it such a bad rap.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
Yeah, it's a Motel 6 with theming on top of it, and a very clean Motel 6, I might add. But
oh my God, and a fantastic food court too.
Oh yeah.
Did you eat at the food court at all?
Every morning, and some nights too, because When you're at Disney, all that walking, you could have like dinner and then second dinner. I did that a couple times.
I know.
But
so what was day two?
So day two was the pièce de résistance of the whole trip. We went to Epcot, and the second we got to Epcot, we were greeted with something I'm quite used to here, but Rachel and Todd aren't as much, and that's thunderstorms that we have here in Florida. And some of our thunderstorms here are vicious. I mean, completely vicious. Chris, you lived here for a while. They crop up and it's lightning everywhere, and torrential rain and winds that look like a hurricane. So we were stuck in that for an hour after we got in the park. Took our pictures. We were literally under the bathroom awning next to the I guess it's the Kodak store. You know what I'm talking about? It's right across from Spaceship Earth. It's like right when you get in there. Yeah, we were stuck.
Mm-hmm.
We were stuck under there for a solid hour while we waited this thing. While we tried to, wait for it to kind of burn itself out.
That's not a good spot to be in either, because there's really no place that you can get to.
Yeah, exactly.
From there,
right.
Unless you want to get completely soaked.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're kind of stuck there, yeah.
So we were. That's exactly what we were. We were stuck in there. It was fun though. We took some, posted some Instagram stories. Rachel caught up on the news. Todd and I were chatting. You've got the Epcot entrance loop playing the whole time, so that's fun. And then that subsided, and we quickly got fast passes for Spaceship Earth because that early in the day. The funny thing is, before World Showcase opens, Spaceship Earth's got like an hour line. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just because World Showcase isn't open until 11. So we got fast passes for that. Rachel had never done it. Todd, of course, has done it, but hasn't done it in a while. And it's one of my favorite rides. I love it. Nothing really to say about that I haven't said before. Spaceship Earth is rad, and I hope it never goes anywhere because it's one of them.
Well, you know who you should thank.
Who's that?
The Phoenicians.
They invented it.
Oh, gosh.
And whoever makes that place smell like crayons, because I swear it smells like crayons in there. And I say it to everybody I ride it. Yeah, I say it to everyone I ride it with. I said it to Rachel when we were walking up the ramp to go in the building. I was like, when we get in there, just take a big whiff in through the nose and tell me that doesn't smell like crayons.
To me, it smells like mesquite, like
well,
barbecue.
that's
when you go through that Roman stuff.
Yeah, that is because they're piping that smell out, but everywhere else it just smells like crayons. It's weird.
Oh, really?
That's weird. What can I say? But yeah, so we did that, and now this was the goal for day 2, drinking around the world, which I have never done and did not do incidentally on this trip, but Todd and Rachel set themselves to it, and they accomplished it, man. And that's a story.
Which direction did you go? Canada to Mexico
Nope.
or Mexico to Canada?
Mexico to Canada. Yep. What I did was I drank every other country. I just didn't. I don't know. We got in there and I was like, I don't feel like being hammered all day. Maybe that's a cop out. Maybe it's not. But I felt like one of us needed to be sober. So, I mean, it's not like anybody was driving, but it's two wasted people and a semi-sober person is better than 3 wasted people, in my opinion. So I figured if things go sideways, at least one of us can function. But luckily, that was never needed because both of these people, Rachel, all 5'2" of her, and Todd, who's my height, man, they really held their own. Like it was really impressive. We started in Mexico, and I believe Rachel got a margarita. I'm not going to be able to remember what everybody got. I was getting beer every time I drank, of course, because I like to party and I like to keep it going. Rachel got a margarita. I think Todd got a margarita. I got cerveza, and we started our trek, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Did you do the ride in Mexico?
Oh yeah, of course. Grand Fiesta Tour. Every time I'm there. Again, another one that gets a bad rap.
Did you sing along?
Of course. I love that
because you were the 3 caballeros.
That's right. Todd and I made note of that actually. We were on the ride together. We were like, yeah, there's only 2 caballeros on this ride, but we were part of the 3 caballeros on this very show.
Rachel could have been.
Well, we talked about that. See, the thing is, she'd have to be a caballera, right? Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make any sense. 2 caballeros and a caballera.
Well, I think if you have 3, it's still caballero if one is a female. I don't know how Spanish works, but
who knows?
Anyway,
who knows?
Did you at least get a German beer when you were in Germany?
Well, I'm German, so
okay.
Yeah, I had to.
Did you go on the Frozen?
No. So here's the thing about Frozen: we had fast passes for it, and we got to Norway, and the ride was down. So they were like, just check back in an hour, check back in 2 hours, whatever. And so we kept checking back, and the ride just never reopened while we were there. So that was unfortunate. They ended up.
They should have given you something else.
We were fine. We were just drinking, so it was like whatever. What else are you gonna get in that park? Oh, we did. You know what we did do though? We took a break. I think we took a break either right after Mexico. Yeah, I think it was right after Mexico because we were pacing ourselves. We started doing this at right at 11. So. Yeah, we took a break. We went and hit Living with the Lamb, which is another one that I always have to hit. I know it's not the most exciting ride in the world, but Again, I love it. I love edutainment. Living with the Land. And then we hit the new Soarin', which I had not done yet. And oh my God. Did you do Soarin' while you were there, Chris?
Yes.
And did you, Ruthie?
Yes, I did.
And what are your thoughts? Because, oh my God.
At first, I was terrified.
Yeah, I was too.
Because
I'm not.
I never even did the old one, so I didn't even know what to expect. But after a minute, I got kind of into the groove of it, and then I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
There were a couple moments after that, though, like when you go over the Eiffel Tower, that kind of freaked me out. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice.
It was really cool. I mean, we were on the top. I've never been on the top row before, and I was on the outside edge, and I've got kind of a thing about heights.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I'll man up and, I'll do it, and nobody will know that I'm terrified. But yeah, we did that. We were on the top row. I was on the far right edge, and as soon as it launches you into that screen, it's like, oh, whoa! I wasn't even ready.
It takes a minute to get ready. Yeah.
No, like once you're strapped in, like it launches you. It's like you don't even. There's no they don't ease you into it at all. It's just like here we go, we're riding it. So yeah, it was the same for me for the first 10 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, I don't like this at all.
If you don't like heights, you probably wouldn't like the new Avatar attraction.
Right, exactly.
The Flight of Passage. That one's even worse. I thought that was worse than Soarin'.
Yeah.
Like, as far as heights, I had to close my eyes a few times on that one.
I bet. Yeah. I've heard the same from people I know who have ridden it. I unfortunately have not yet.
Yeah.
No, but it's such oh man, the improvements to that thing are remarkable. I mean, the thing that's always blown me away about Soarin', especially now, is you can look to your left and you can look to your right, and in your peripheral vision, and also literally in those directions, it looks like you're in that environment. I don't know how they do it. It's really, really cool. I mean, it's like a 3D experience without needing glasses. It's really awesome. But so that was cool. We did that. We did the most useless, in my opinion, ride in all the parks, which is Finding Nemo. I still think that's just, they got to do something about that attraction. It's just, I mean, I think I've said it on this show before. I've certainly said it on Mouse Music. I'm not a fan of Cliff Note rides. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, here's a movie, and here's a 4-minute Cliff Notes version of the thing you saw in the movie. Yeah. And so that's what Finding. I mean, you do get the Big Blue World. Oh God, I forgot something entirely. Sorry.
Where did you eat?
When?
At Epcot. On the second.
Oh, Electric Umbrella.
Did you eat Did you eat dinner in the countries or anything?
Did we? No, we did not. I think we ate dinner at the court, in the food court, and also we did that actually. That is what we did. I think. Yes, that's what we did. And I actually forgot about something. At Animal Kingdom, we did Finding Nemo the musical, which I've never done before.
Oh, did you love it?
I loved every second of it. It's
awesome.
It's so good. I mean, like, I can't believe I glossed over that. But yeah, wow. That was day one. That was Monday.
That was closed when I went.
Oh, you could probably see it on YouTube. I mean, I have.
It's not the
I've
same.
Seen it on YouTube.
It's not the same. I've seen it on YouTube a bunch of times, but yeah, it's nothing like what it is. Like it's really fantastic. It's a phenomenal ride. Phenomenal attraction, excuse me. Sorry, my cat just jumped all over me, so I got scatterbrained for a second. Yeah, so that was really cool. So yeah, back to Epcot day 2. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just interesting watching them, kind of go through every country. Like I said, I was skipping every other country and drinking, just beer. And
did you do any of the movies? Like, did you do Impressions de France?
No, we were going to
Wonders of China.
We went into China. We missed it by like 10 minutes, and it's like I think Wonders of China is like 30 minutes or something like that. And we're like, we'll hit this next time, So we didn't do that, unfortunately. But that whole day was basically just about them drinking their way around the world. But we were taking our time. We were eating in between countries and stuff like that, and it ended up being pretty cool. Did
you do the car ride? What is it?
It was closed most of the day. Test Track, yeah, it was because of the weather. Yeah. They closed it basically the entire day. Unfortunately. Yeah, we didn't do Mission Space. We didn't do a
Imagination.
Yeah, Imagination Pavilion. That's another one that I keep missing every time I'm there because for some reason they close it at 7, and I don't know why that is. But you'll think, oh, I want to go. I don't know why you would do this, but I want to go ride the new Journey. It's not new now, but Journey into Imagination, and every time I go back, it's closed. So, so yeah, we basically spent the entire day in World Showcase, and our whole goal was to hit Canada before Reflections of Earth, Illuminations, because Rachel has never done it, and so that was a must, and we just made it somehow, some way. And the interesting thing was, Rachel and Todd were mixing drinks all day. Like, they were drinking, like, beer in one location, sake in Japan. They were drinking, like, tequila in Mexico. And they were just holding their own. I mean, we were spacing it out and eating, like I said, but we got to the Rose and Crown, and both of them got apple cider. And this was one of the countries I was taking a break at. And then we got to Canada, and Rachel ordered this, like, I think it's called an Ottawa apple or something like that, with like 20 liquors all in there. At this point, Rachel was visibly inebriated. Somehow Todd wasn't. I don't know how he's Irish, so he's really good at holding it. So is Rachel, actually. But at that point, she had completed the challenge, and as just being an annoying friend, I was like, listen, please don't drink the rest of that because you're going to be sick. Seriously. And we talked her out of drinking the rest of it. She was like totally responsible about it. She did a good job. She did a good job. She never once was like, I'm drunk, or anything like that. But if she had been, everybody would have understood, certainly. But yeah, we finished up, like I said, in Canada, and watched Reflections of Earth, Illuminations. I don't know why I'm saying that backwards, but I am. And that's always just that's a gut punch of an experience. I love it so much. I've seen grown men and women cry during that fireworks show. I hope they never take it away. I hear rumors that they might be, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, they're gonna replace it. They're not gonna take it away entirely. They're just gonna do a new show that's kind of the same thing, but different music and everything.
Right.
But they'll still have a nighttime spectacular. It just won't be the same.
It's going to bum me out when it's not Illuminations, man. I got to tell you. I really... Oof. But anyway, that was day 2. Day 2 was in the books. We went back to the hotel. We got some sleep. I'm pretty sure we ate something before we went to sleep. And day 3 was the Magic Kingdom, which was the day that we were all kind of really looking forward to. Now, I should add, somehow, some way, we landed in Walt Disney World on one of the slower weeks that I've ever been there. And I think what had happened was we got there right after spring break ended locally. So the first 2 days we were in the parks, it was amazing. There were, virtually no wait times. It was, it wasn't a ghost town, but I mean, it's certainly not like you're used to seeing it. And I just kept thinking to myself, this is crazy. Like we're walking onto stuff that you typically have to, get fast passes for or wait an hour to get into. So that was really great. That changed on Wednesday. We went to the Magic Kingdom. The weather was perfect. It was like 69 degrees all day. The sun was out all day. And the Magic Kingdom was just packed. It was like you would typically expect it to be. It was so busy, in fact. Those restaurants that open up during high capacity times, like Tortuga Tavern, and the one in Tomorrowland, which is Tomorrowland Terrace? Yeah, Tomorrowland Terrace. They were both open, so that's how you know it's a busy day if they're opening those up for business. But that was really great. I believe the first thing we did was Peter Pan's Flight, which that's a must every time. I'll tell you, man, Peter Pan's Flight, it almost doesn't get better than that ride. Chris, I know we've talked about that on Mouse Music. We did a whole segment on it probably 3 years ago, and that's one that just never gets old.
Did you go through the regular queue?
We didn't.
Through the nursery and everything?
We didn't the first time because we knew we were coming back because that was our extra Magic Hours day. So we were there literally from, I think it was, we didn't hit rope drop because we were all a little bit like, after the night before. We were kind of slow moving to get out of the hotel. But I think we got there at 10. So we did like 10 to midnight, a solid 14-hour day. And it was, I think that was the most fun I had on the entire trip was that day. We didn't drink at all, obviously. We took a break from that. And yeah, the first thing that we did, I believe, was Peter Pan's Flight. And then we actually saw something that I just missed the last time I was there. Wendell and I missed it by, like, I think weeks. But that was the Muppet Show in Liberty Square, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love that. I've seen it on YouTube. It is one of those things that you can get the experience on YouTube, but also not really, because if you're just standing there in Liberty Square, you've got Sam the Eagle to your left and Kermit, Fozzie, and Miss Piggy to your right. It's just, and Gonzo. It's such a, I mean, and I believe there's 2 different shows. We caught one of them. We caught the King George show, and that was really fun. Of course, we hit the Haunted Mansion. We hit Pirates. We hit the TTA. That's always a must-do. And basically,
was there a line for the TTA? Because there was when I went.
5 minutes. It was basically a walk-on, you know. But these kinds of days are the days that I live for as a Disney Parks fan. You know, like where I get to, like, extra Magic Hour days in the Magic Kingdom where I can literally just, no stress, man. If I don't hit it right now, I'll hit it in 6 hours, you know? So that was a lot of fun. It was a really solid day. Us finally saw Happily Ever After, the new fireworks show. That was incredible. I know you guys probably both saw it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, actually.
Chris, do you want to go first?
I've already gone over that in great detail. I wasn't a big fan of it, actually.
Okay.
Because they just kind of focused on everything that happened from 1990 forward. They didn't have much that I had any sort of nostalgia for, so it didn't tug at my heartstrings like it should, you know, because it was all these movies that I was a lot older when they came out, and I don't have any emotional connection with them like I do Cinderella, Peter Pan, Pinocchio, you know, Mary Poppins. None of that was in the show.
But what about the show itself, though? Like the execution of it, you had to have liked that.
I did, but I mean, it was like it was all flash and no substance for me, because it didn't have the heart that I would expect from a Disney show.
Man, I don't know. I got all the Disney feels from it. Like, just me personally, like there were but again, I'm a 80s and 90s kid, you know, that grew up on all that stuff. I loved
and then the other thing that annoyed me is that I thought the show was over, and I was getting up to leave, and then Tinkerbell comes out, and my back was to the castle, and I missed it. I almost missed the whole.
Well, wait a second, though.
Because I thought the show was over.
Wait a second, though. How did you think it was over? Because when she comes out, it's still going pretty full on, right? Like, it's
because they make an announcement. We hope you enjoyed.
Oh, they didn't do that when I was there. That's weird. Yeah.
Oh, they kind of. It seemed like it had ended, and then they had kind of an encore with Tinkerbell.
No, she was. I mean, like, she was part of the finale when I saw it. Like, it was.
Yeah, she was in the finale, but the finale was presented as sort of an encore because it seemed like the show had already ended.
That's interesting, because I don't remember it that way. I wonder if it was just different when you were there, or maybe it was just different when I was there. That's interesting. Huh. And I should actually add that I saw this on Thursday because we tried to see it on Wednesday, and we somehow, some way thought it was a good idea to hit Country Bear Jamboree at like 8:40 or 8:30 or something like that, and we got out with 10 minutes to spare, thinking, well, we'll be able to like snag some good spots. No, you can't. I mean, it's just a wall of people, and the smart people got there 2 hours before and camped out and stuff. So we and then we were all starving, so we were like, well, we'll go to Casey's Corner and get some hot dogs or something, and watch it from Casey's Corner. And the umbrellas block everything, and Casey's Corner was a madhouse. I've never seen it like that in there. So that was that was interesting. I also I was a vegan until about a month ago, and then so this trip was all about like eating like a carnivore again. So for anybody who cares about that ridiculous detail. So that was and day 3 this would have been. It was fantastic. We hit Big Thunder Mountain 3 times. We hit Seven Dwarfs Mine Train twice. We hit Peter Pan's Flight, I think, 3 times. We did Haunted Mansion, I think, at least twice. Pirates at least twice. Saw the new Redhead scene for the first time. I actually had refused to watch it on YouTube just because I wanted to reserve judgment. And I actually, I hate that they removed it. I really do, but I understand why they did. And I actually heard a story from someone who knows a cast member, and take this with a grain of salt. There was a sort of explanation as to why they changed it, and the reason why they changed it, apparently, allegedly, according to this cast member, was someone from Disney Imagineering was riding pirates, I think in Disneyland, with their daughter. And their daughter asked, why are they selling that lady? And of course, that's all it takes. It's just, and they felt the need to change it.
The answer is because pirates were evil people, and they didn't treat women the way they should be treated. And this is part of history, my dear. This is what the world used to be like. So this is a lesson that you could learn about our past. That's how you answer that question. Not, the past was just wonderful and nothing bad ever happened. Women were never treated badly in the old days.
Right. Well, I agree. I miss it. I miss the old scene. I'll always fondly remember, we wants the redhead. But I do like the new animatronic. She looks fantastic.
Yeah, I do think she looks
She's
good.
Auctioning off rum now.
There was a rumor that she was the old Jane from...
That's what I keep hearing. I also heard Sigourney Weaver from
I don't think it
Great
is,
Movie Ride,
because she's too articulated. Jane hardly moved at all. The facial features are really good on the new figure, so I don't think so.
Yeah, Jane's face didn't move at all in Great Movie Ride, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Well, neither did Ripley's, though. I think she just kind of tilted her head.
She just sweat and didn't move her mouth. She just stood there scared.
I heard another rumor.
Mm-hmm.
You're the boss of this show, so I'm gonna bring it up. We did Hall of Presidents.
You can bring it up.
I know
we brought it up.
I know you probably. Oh, did
yeah,
you bring
I talked
it up?
about it on my trip report. So go ahead.
That's right, you did talk about it. Well, I don't know if you talked about exactly what it's been a while since I heard that show. There's a rumor going around that the Donald Trump animatronic is actually a Hillary Clinton animatronic with his hair and put on a larger man's body. The face, I mean. And I gotta tell you, man, I don't know what you think about this, but I don't remember what you said.
Well, I sat in the very back because I was in a wheelchair, so
we were in the.
So
very front.
From my perspective, it looked fine because I was way far away from it, so it looked good to me from far back. So.
That's all I'll say about it. I know nobody wants to get too political. It definitely, because you look at the Barack Obama animatronic, it's beautiful. The George, they all look fantastic. They all look like the people they're representing, except for the Donald Trump animatronic.
Yeah, I just feel like it doesn't matter what your political affiliations are. It's disrespectful to have him look the way he looks. But my thinking is that it only looked like that if you were standing next to him from the audience, that it wouldn't look like that. And when I saw it, it looked fine. But I didn't sit in the front. I sat in the very back. So my perspective might have been a lot different than yours. So
possibly, yeah. Raja says hi, everybody. So for dinner that night, for lunch that day, we ate at Pecos Bill's. And this was actually kind of interesting. Pecos Bill's was not nearly as busy as it usually would be on a day like that, which was a pleasant surprise for me, actually. Because you know how it is at Pecos. It's like Ray's Starlight Cafe. Get your tray and literally do I call it the holiday mall circle. When you're in your car the week of Christmas and you're trying to park at the mall. And all you're doing is driving around the parking lot waiting for somebody to pull out.
Even though it's so huge, it still is never a place to sit.
No, you just have to walk around until you see a family getting up and then hijack the table before they even clean it.
Was Cosmic Ray still being refurbished, or had they finished it?
Yes, it's still being refurbished, but obviously I guess it's not being refurbished; it's being expanded, which is good. So the regular dining room or dining rooms and the bays were all open, and we didn't eat there, but we did stop in. I always have to, if I go there and Wendell Jones is not with me, I have to go in there and film Sunny Eclipse and send it to him so he's not mad at me. We're both big Sunny Eclipse fans. Again, see one of our previous Mouse Music episodes where we talked about that very alien animatronic.
Was the Liberty Bell operating when I went? It was on.
No,
oh,
it was
still
not
operating. Okay.
It was not, but you know what we did that I've never done before. In lieu of the Liberty Bell, in lieu of the steamboat, we actually went to Tom Sawyer Island, and this was something that I purposely told both of them. We have to hit Tom Sawyer Island. I've never done it on any trip. I think I might have done it when I was a kid, but it's been a long time. Therein we had one of the funnest...
Was part of it still closed?
Sorry?
When I went, half of it was closed.
Not that we could tell.
Were you able to see the fort and everything? Okay,
yeah.
so that
the
part,
because
there's a
caves,
bridge to get to the fort, right? It's on a
Yep.
separate island. That whole
Yes.
separate island was closed off when I went. It was being refurbished. So you got to see the fort thing. That's good.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. The funniest moment of the entire trip actually happened in those little caves, those little hidey caves you go into. There was a dad in there with I guess his daughters who are 7 or 8 or something like that, and so he's hiding behind one of the walls, getting ready to scare his daughters, and it's Rachel in front of Todd and I, and this guy jumps out and he's like ah in front of Rachel.
Oh no!
Thinking it was hilarious. She screamed so loud. We were dying for the next 3 hours. It was the funniest thing that happened on the entire trip because she literally screamed at the top of her lungs. She did not see it coming. None of us did.
Wow.
I thanked the guy too. I'm like, thank you so much for this. You just made my entire afternoon. I mean, we were in tears. It was so
How
funny.
many times did you go on It's a Small World? 12?
Once.
Aw.
I mean, again, it's a must-do for me, but you know what? I did realize, and I did say this to Todd and Rachel, in my mind's ear, I always think that they're just constantly playing It's a Small World, the entire attraction, but they're not. They vary it enough in the soundtrack to where it does not get as annoying as you might think it, you think it might, or whatever. So that was a fun... I was really paying attention to that because it's a long... What is it? 8, 9, 10 minutes. It's not exactly a short ride. So
Did you all have magic bands?
Here's the thing. So Rachel and Todd did. I've got 6 magic bands here at my house that I've collected over the years.
Left It's a Small World, did it say their name?
No, It did not. It did not. We were looking for that actually. Yeah, it did not.
It
say
said my name every time I wrote it. It said my name. Yeah.
Oh, really? How many times did you ride it?
Probably 6. But I was there.
That's cool. I know it's your favorite.
Was there for 10 days, so.
Right. Yeah. So
I had plenty of time. Yeah.
Right.
And it's the last thing I went on before I left and went home the next day.
Oh wow!
It was my grand finale attraction. This is my favorite.
Right. Exactly. Haunted Mansion is mine. Yeah, so we did that. We went to Memento Mori because Todd really wanted to see that. He got the lenticular portrait of himself that everybody I know has gotten except for me. I just can't bring myself to... I don't know why. I'm probably going to do it on my next trip. It just seems like one of those things that everybody's doing. And as a major Haunted Mansion fan, I'm just
exactly?
If everybody's doing it...
For our audience that doesn't know, what is that? And for me, that doesn't know either.
Oh, okay. Well, they take your picture, they bring you in a little booth, they take your photograph of your face, and they tell you come back in 2 hours or whatever, and your picture will be ready. They even sell frames. I think Todd bought a frame for it. And it's one of those things where if you look at it from a certain angle, your face morphs into a decaying dead zombie face. It's really cool. I mean, it's very cool.
I don't need a special effect to do that to my face. So, did you buy any special souvenirs on the trip or no?
Yeah, I got a keychain. I got the Disneyland dedication plaque keychain, which I love. It's really cool. Here you enter a world of blah 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 blah. I got that. Found out my girlfriend has the exact same keychain actually, which is really cool. I didn't know that. What else?
So what did you do? That was day 3. What did you do on day 4?
Well, day 3, I just want to say a couple small details about day 3.
Okay.
We hit Big Thunder Mountain at night, which I've never done.
Oh, really?
Have you guys
Oh,
ever done that?
many
I'm sure
times.
every Disney fan. Yeah, I've never done that before. Just because I'm doing something else usually.
Oh, that's amazing.
We rode back. We rode back car, like the last car.
That's the best part.
At night. Oh, it's such a rad experience.
Yeah.
It's a completely different like experience. It's almost like being in Space Mountain. It's like so disorienting and stuff. We did that at like 10:30, 11 p.m.
Mhm.
Like that was really cool. And then we went back and did Seven Dwarves at night.
Oh, yeah.
And that
I
was
didn't do
amazing.
that
At night. Oh, it was so cool. Again, totally different experience. You know, you get out of the dark ride segment and you drop, and it's just like, this is really cool.
Have you ever done?
did Peter-
have
the
you ever
last thing
done
we did-
Jungle Cruise at night?
No, and we didn't do Jungle Cruise at all. on
Oh,
this trip.
really?
I think Todd ended up staying an extra day. I think he hit it, but yeah, we just didn't do it because we didn't have fast passes for it. You know how it is. The wait there is always like an hour and a half, and it's the hottest part of the entire park is the sun just freaking roasts that little queue area.
Yeah.
So the whole time, Rachel's been on it a bunch of times at Disneyland. Todd's been on it. I've been on it. So it's like, that was the one that didn't make the cut.
Well, I was lucky because they have I was in my scooter, so they can't accommodate a chair in the line, so they give you basically a handwritten fast pass to come back. They look at how long the wait is, they write you out a slip, and you come back. So I didn't have to wait in the line when I rode the Jungle Cruise, so I kind of cheated the system there, I guess.
Well, that's good.
So I rode it like 3 times. And once at night.
I'm sad we didn't hit it, but yeah, we were gonna try to do it at nighttime, but we just kept saying, well, let's go hit. We hit Big Thunder, I think 3 times. It was like.
Did you do Tiki Room?
Space Mountain. Tiki Room we did.
Did you get Dole Whips?
As soon as we left. Oh, that's a rite of passage.
Did you get the float or just the regular?
I got the regular.
I always get the float.
Yeah.
I love the float.
Yeah. Float's good. I think when Wendell and I were there, we got the float, and we got them in these souvenir tiki. I still have it. It's on my desk actually. It's like a tiki god cup that you could buy a couple years ago. Yeah, I love that thing. So that was. It was just again, just super magical day. Anytime you could spend 14 hours in the Magic Kingdom and just not leave all day and just hit these classic attractions over and over and over again. That's the ultimate. That's the day I was most looking forward to, and it did not disappoint. The weather was perfect, and we ate every second.
Did you ride the
teacups? Really
teacups?
great. No, didn't do the teacups.
Did you do the carousel?
Didn't do the carousel.
Did you do Dumbo?
Nope, I don't do Dumbo. I don't do the Astro Orbiter. I don't do Aladdin's Flying Carpets. I don't know. It's like.
Was the carousel still under refurb? Because when I went, it had
No.
it was all covered up. It was still operating, but it was all under.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was being refurbished when we were there.
Oh, you're lucky. Because it was kind of an eyesore when I went. It's kind of disappointing. It was all covered up. So, did you do Winnie the Pooh?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Little Mermaid?
Which I haven't done yet. Did Little Mermaid, but I want to say I've never done Winnie the Pooh until this trip.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, because this is gonna sound ridiculous, but Winnie the Pooh, the ride has always been like for me because it's the ride that took
Toad.
Mr. Toad's Wild. Yeah, and I know for people in Disneyland, West Coast people, he took the Country Bears away from them. So I've always kind of been like, oh, Pooh, And plus, every time I go past Winnie the Pooh, it's like, 60 minutes.
Yeah,
so
long.
we all decided we've never done it. They've done it in Disneyland. I've never done it here, and I don't think they'd ever done it here.
Yeah.
So we did Winnie the Pooh. It's actually a cool attraction. It's very, very reminiscent. You could tell the track is the same as Mr. Toad's.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of that going on, but yeah, it was cool. I really liked it. The sequence, especially where Winnie the Pooh falls asleep and then his ghost flips forward out of his body.
Yeah.
In what looks like a Pepper's ghost effect, all of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
I've seen that on YouTube and never appreciated it, but that's really cool to see in person. Actually,
That is interesting.
so And the other thing about it too is that it reminds me of those, the dark rides that you get a lot of in Disneyland that you really don't get here. Like obviously we have Peter Pan's Flight, but over there you've got like Alice in Wonderland. You've got like this whole suite of like really classic dark rides in Fantasyland and Disneyland. So that it also gave me those kind of feels too. So I did really appreciate it. I'll ride it again. And I also love the detail. Todd pointed it out to me where Mr. Toad hands the deed to Winnie the Pooh. It's a little painting on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's Mr. Toad handing the deed to Winnie the Pooh, which I thought was clever. We walked through the circus area. That poor area. They got to do something about it. I mean, I'm actually surprised it's lasted 5 years or 4 years or however long it's been open now.
Well, I rode Dumbo because I was curious to see the new ride system that they use, where you wait in the holding area.
Yeah, in the tent.
And I'll tell you, that was impressive. Inside that tent was really well themed, and I was really impressed with that. But the land itself, I was kind of underwhelmed. So Dumbo, the attraction, they did a great job, but everything else just seemed kind of, I don't know, cost-cutting or whatever. Kind of like they didn't really bother like they did with the rest of the new Fantasyland, so I kind of share your opinion on that too.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So what did you do on the fourth day?
On the fourth day, we went to Hollywood Studios.
And
I don't know why I said it in that voice.
I thought you might be breaking out into 4 calling birds all of a sudden. On the fourth day of Disney, my true love gave to me.
I try to stay as far away from that song as I can.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like 99 bottles of beer on the wall, It's like one of those. No offense to anybody who likes that song anyway. But, so yeah, day 4, Hollywood Studios. This is another one that I was looking forward to. Just because,
wasn't much
there's
there.
Nothing. There's nothing to do there. I know, but I still love that park. I still because I have, and I've said it a zillion times in the show, I still have the memory of being a 9-year-old kid going into MGM, and seeing this amazing new Disney park with, like this, like I said, when I watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I want to do often, I love that movie, it just reminds me of what MGM used to be. So when I walk into MGM now, I still look at it with those kind of like rose-tinted glasses, and I know it's not the same park. And what really, really hurts is to look down and see the Chinese theater and know
there's nothing in it.
Well, they're building the.
For now, there's nothing in it.
Yeah,
well, there is, but
it's just
nothing you're allowed to see.
That's just. It's the first time I've been back since they closed it, and that hurts. It literally hurts to look at the Chinese theater. No, I mean you can even walk, and this is the crazy thing. We took pictures out there. There's a great Jim Henson handprint in front of the Chinese theater, which Rachel took a picture with. I'm sure if you follow any of us on social media, you probably saw that, knowing that she's a big Muppet fan and Muppet expert and all that stuff. But the crazy thing is you can walk into the old queue that winds around the back of the Chinese theater. And I've been in that queue 1,000 times, literally, and it was just painful. It's like, this ride's not ever going to be here again. I know it wasn't the greatest ride, but it was so that was a gut punch. I wasn't really expecting that, but that bummed me out. That was not a good way to start my day. But the one thing that was cool was they do this, and I've seen it on YouTube. I'm sure you guys have seen it on YouTube. I'm sure you probably both saw it while you were there. But the First Order march led by Captain Phasma.
Yes,
it was happening, but I wasn't really. I was kind of on my way to other things. I wasn't really paying that close attention to it.
Well, you're not a big Star Wars fan like
not
me,
really.
But that was cool. It was
really cool.
It was really cool, and they also do a brief thing where Rey comes on stage and Chewbacca's there, and she does it. I mean, that's as a Star Wars fan, I dug it. I was into it. And speaking of Star Wars, we rode Star Tours 3 times. We just kept smashing it over and over and over again. That one never gets old for me. I love that ride. I was trying to explain to Todd and Rachel, and I wonder if anybody else has this feeling. I'm addicted to the feeling of going into hyperspace on that ride. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're doing to me in that moment, but just that feeling of going backwards and then going forwards, and just the way that the whole thing works. I love it, and I wish I could just bottle that that sensation up and take it with me everywhere I go, so I could just get my fix.
All you
real
have to
quick.
do
I'm
is
always-
get in your car and go from 0 to 60 in 5 seconds.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have the star field in 3D like blurring. It's just there's just something about it. I just
Well,
love
close
the
your
attraction
eyes
so much.
while you're doing that in your car.
While you're driving in your car, close your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, that's a
Do
great
it near
idea.
the police
Just go
station. So I know you.
We
I
kept-
know you went on the Muppet.
Oh yeah,
3D,
of course.
Muppet Vision.
Rachel enjoyed that because obviously they don't have that in Disneyland anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was getting the feels from that. We checked out Rizzo's, which I know you were not a fan of.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you checked it out.
Well,
Yeah, you
I
did
walked
check it out.
by it. I didn't go inside, but it was basically what I thought it was. It looked like just a. It looked like the city I live in. It looked like downtown Providence. So I was like, who cares?
The thing about it that bums me out is that's Pizza Planet, right?
Yeah.
That's where Pizza Planet was.
Yeah.
So, and pizza. This is the thing that you get this great theming from Disney in almost every way, everywhere you go. But then there's these other places where you're thinking like Tortuga Tavern, for example. I've always thought Tortuga Tavern just a missed opportunity. Open that thing up 24/7, theme it as like a Pirates of the Caribbean themed restaurant, and boom, it's awesome. It writes itself. The same thing with Pizza Planet when that was open. I walk in the first time ever seeing that place, thinking I'm walking into Pizza Planet from Toy Story. No, it's nothing like Pizza Planet
it was
from Toy
always
Story.
disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's Rizzo's, and you're thinking like, is there going to be an animatronic somewhere?
Yeah.
Are we going to hear Muppet loop music? Nothing.
The little
nothing at
the
all.
little
The only-
rats serving you your pizza.
something, anything, anything. Like Rizzo coming over the intercom and like, anything at all.
Hello, welcome to my restaurant.
I just anything at all, and I'd be happy. But they don't do anything with it. The only thing they do, theming wise, is they have little like quotes from him on the garbage cans outside in the outside seating area. That's it, and so it sucks, and that's unfortunate. But I am glad that we still get Muppet something anywhere in the parks, and I'm glad that they've kind of gone that way with it. I just don't. I do wonder if that's not going to last very long.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's a bummer. So yeah, so we checked that out, and then we did Indiana Jones. Of course, you have to do that. Now this is actually where the day got interesting. Rachel was picked as one of the
Oh, really?
on stage. Yeah,
That's funny.
well, she made it known that she wanted to be picked or whatever. I am not that person. I
Yeah.
don't want to be selected. I just
Yeah,
want to watch the show.
I agree.
So she's like, pick me, and I'm like, have fun, have a good time. But she really liked it, so she was on stage for that, and backstage and all those things. And I'm sure she's on somebody's YouTube video somewhere who was filming that day. If anybody wants to look for that date, which I think that was April 12th. Yeah, April 12th. So that was cool, and I think after that they were gonna hit Rock and Roller Coaster, which again is not my jam. I'm not a Rock and Roller Coaster guy.
Yeah.
I appreciate the ride. I think it's cool. Todd did Tower of Terror. Rachel's not a Tower of Terror fan, so I didn't do it with her, or she wasn't gonna do it. So
You
I
didn't do it
kinda
together.
Yeah. So that's when we went to Pizza Rizzo.
Those are basically the 3 attractions that I skipped when I went also. I did not go on Rock and Roller Coaster, Everest, or Tower of Terror. I went on everything else but those 3.
Yep, that's exactly what I did. Yeah, just because I love Tower of Terror. I feel kind of bad that I didn't do it because I know my Disneyland friends can't do that version anymore. So I don't know. I'll hit it next time.
I love
that's
it
one of those-
until the moment when I lose my lunch.
you drop
on it. Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
handle that.
it's one of those things where you have to be in the right mindset for it. And if you're not, it's not enjoyable. But when I am in the right mindset for it, I love it. If I'm like, yeah, drop me 5 stories. Yes, let's do this. Which I am almost never in that mindset. So, it's just one of those things I have to get ready for. But yeah, so that was it. We left Hollywood Studios at like 5, and we hightailed it back to the Magic Kingdom and just smashed everything in that park that we could before it closed. And did Haunted Mansion a couple more times, did Pirates a couple more times, did I think Big Thunder at least one more time. We did. I think we tried to get on Seven Dwarfs, but we couldn't. I think we were just kind of rolling with however many fast passes.
Did
we
you
could.
do Carousel of Progress?
No, didn't do that at all, which sucks because I wanted to check that out. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of that ride, but I specifically wanted to ride it on this trip or experience it on this trip because
Well, it is that you could say ride because you actually do move.
Well, yeah, one. You sort of roll around, but I haven't done that since I was a kid, so I'm kind of bummed I didn't do it. But you know what's funny? Like you get in the Magic Kingdom on a day like we had on Wednesday, day 3, where you know you've got 14 hours or 15 hours, and you're like, I'm gonna hit everything in here today, and somehow, some way, you don't. You know, it's like
I did.
You're,
but I was by myself, and
well, the thing is, another thing that I love to do in the Disney parks is just mosey around. Like, I love having like blocks of time where I have no place in particular I'm supposed to be, and just kind of
to quote Mr. Toad.
Exactly. No place in particular.
Well, my thing was I had 10 days, so I had time to see
you hit everything.
Yeah. I did take my time, but I mean, you can only take so much time. You know, I couldn't help but see everything because I had nothing but time. And I was by myself, so I didn't have, everything I didn't have to, like, fight over what we were going to see next, or it was all up to me what I wanted to see,
Right.
And have to make special bathroom breaks for other people or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done solo trips. I actually don't like them. I don't like doing solo trips. I did one I've done one.
I like
solo trip.
I like both. I mean, I think 10 days was a little bit too much for me personally to be alone, but
yeah,
I do like it.
I think when I live near one, which is going to be happening here soon. I'll be living near a Disney park. I think, then it's like, oh, it's Tuesday. I feel like going and getting my Haunted Mansion fixed by myself. I'll do that, But if you're like talking about a vacation, it does. Like I remember I went in 2016, I think, by myself for like 3 days, and the first day I'm just like my eyes are glazed over with the infinite impossibilities of just doing stuff by myself, doing whatever I want. By day 2, I'm like, damn, I'm kind of lonely, Like, I'm used to like doing this with friends, high-fiving my friends and, saying like, what do you want to do next? And all that stuff. So, yeah, I could see both sides of that. But
so did you have a 5th day, or was that it?
No. So what happened was I had to get back to West Palm Beach because my mom was house-sitting my cat for me, and I didn't want to make her do it for 5 days. And I had stuff to attend to for Sideshow. I had to get back to work on Sideshow stuff. So I departed Orlando Friday morning. I hugged Rachel and Todd goodbye and said, I'll see you guys next time. And they actually had a 5th day where they went, I believe, to the Animal Kingdom again. But I did not take part in that. I got on a train and got myself back to West Palm Beach and reunited with Raja and the pile of work that had accumulated on my desk in the 4 days during my absence. And so yeah, that was my Disney trip. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, meeting Todd and Rachel for the first time in person is always great, to meet people you collaborate with and stuff. We almost had that opportunity in February, you and I, Chris, but I couldn't make it work with my schedule when you were in town. So hopefully we have another opportunity at some point to make that happen. Same with you, Ruthie. I mean, I've only ever met from Sideshow Wendell, Jesse Nelson, Todd, and Rachel now. Out of the 18, 20 people we have that we work with,
wow.
I've only met. Oh, and Andrew Steele because I know him locally. But yeah, it's my brother because he's my brother. But, I mean, it's interesting. It's such a weird thing to like see somebody on Skype for 3 years or 4 years, and then they're like right in front of you, and you're like, oh my God, you're a real person. Wow. And we're at Disney. Let's go have fun. It's a very surreal but very cool experience, and I look forward to many more. We have a Disneyland trip planned in November, so I'm looking forward to that because I've been to DCA, but I've never been to Disneyland, and so I can't wait to talk about that one when that finally goes down. We'll be hitting Dapper Day, so.
Well, we'll have to do another mini episode when you go to Disneyland.
For sure, yeah.
So
for sure, and we're actually toying around with the idea. We're probably going to do this actually, doing another trip report on Mouse Music with Todd, Rachel, and myself. So if you guys are interested in that, that's looking like 95% likely that it's going to happen. We'll be playing clips and stuff that we recorded, and all kinds of fun shenanigans will be going on there. So yeah, shameless plug. But yeah, I had a great time. It was one of, it might be It might be my favorite Disney trip I've ever taken, to be perfectly honest with you. I had a blast from start to finish with these crazy kids. And,
well, wait till November when you go to the original and you'll change your tune. I guarantee.
And see how small everything is over
Well,
there.
I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised, and it's gonna end up being your favorite Disney park because everybody I've ever talked to.
Chris, I'm from Orlando, man. It can't. Even if it is my favorite Disney park, I can't admit that to anybody. Like, I'm from Orlando. I was born in Orlando. I grew up at Disney World. I would be turning my back on who I am if I ever admitted that.
No, you're not, because that's Walt's part.
Yeah, but
you're turning your back on Walt by not saying.
No, don't say that.
No. The park that I grew up in is the park Walt wanted all along. So I feel like, when I'm walking through Disney World, I'm like, this is Walt's.
Yeah,
this is Walt's.
I know. He really wanted drinking around the world and Frozen. That was that was his dream for Epcot.
Touche, bro. Touche.
Oh, boy.
So anyway, that is our mini episode with William Dodson of the Floridas and of the Florida environs and unedited, folks, unedited. So, Will, where can everybody find you on the that box that you plug in and has all those wires coming out of it, and it, the www, whatever that is. Where can people find you there?
Well, as my partner Wendell Jones likes to say, all over the freaking place, mate. I am the...
Was that Wendell Jones, or...
No, I can't... You know what? I can do a lot of British accents. I cannot do his accent.
That sounded more like Barnaby Jones from
It didn't even sound
the
British.
Outback.
It sounded Australian, yeah. You can check us out all over the place there, mate. I am the host and senior producer of SideshowSoundTheater.com. We are a production house, a podcast network, a composing duo, and a team of just magnificent human beings. You should check us out over there, SideshowSoundTheater.com. We have tons of content, interviews with composers, Mouse Music, our own Disney show, which Chris is on, which Rachel is on, which Todd is on, and which I host. That is over there on SideshowSoundTheater.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Sideshow Sound. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Will_Dodson1. I believe you can follow me on Instagram, Will Dodson1. I have to do something about that because it's different than my Twitter handle. And I'm pretty sure that's where you can find me. You can also find me in Florida if you're ever in the neighborhood. Say hi.
Yes.
Shoot me a hello.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have tea.
You'll drink from the fountain of youth together.
That's right.
Yes. Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
So, Ruth, where can everybody find you on the webby, skebby Debbie?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. I'm Ruthie Brown. And I just want to say, Will, thanks for sharing. It sounded like you had tons of fun.
Well, I hope to do it with you guys, too, at some
Definitely.
point. That's got to happen. I know you make your way out here yearly, right?
Yeah.
Ruthie?
Yeah, usually,
Yes.
yeah.
We'll have to make that happen for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Well,
And Chris, if you ever get back here, I'm hoping you do at some point soon.
might be a while, but we'll see.
You never know, Chris.
I had my fill for a while. I'm not
You
in
went
any
full
hurry.
Disney.
Yeah, I'm not in any hurry to go back. Actually, I kind of had
that
I
feeling?
OD'd on it a little bit.
You know that feeling. You know that feeling when you're on your bus, headed back to your hotel. It's like 10:30. You just got, you just had to swim through seas of people and wait 30 minutes at your bus stop. You're just tired. You want to get back to your hotel. That feeling that you have, right then and there. That's going full Disney.
Yeah.
That's what going full Disney feels like.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I'm over it. I'm done. Just give me
Yeah.
my hotel. I want to shower. I want to
Yeah.
sleep in the super comfy bed. That's going full Disney.
Yeah.
I experienced that on every trip.
Yeah, I kind of avoided having that, but I did kind of a couple times have that feeling. I was kind of an early bird, and I would get there early and then leave early, so I didn't have to deal with that as much. But there were a couple times where I did have that experience. You can't avoid it entirely while you're there, so... Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at DisneyChris73 and on Facebook under the name Chris Linden. That's Lyndon, as in Lyndon Johnson. And I'd like to thank Will for coming back on our show, and I hope it won't be as much of a gap of time before you're back on our show again, my friend.
I am working on being back here much more frequently than I have been. I love podcasting with you guys, and obviously we go back years now, Chris, you and I podcasting together, so yeah, expect a lot more from me soon, I promise. I do miss being on this show, so.
Well, I hope everybody...
And by the way, I love podcasting with Ruthie, I just want to say too. I totally left that out.
We gotta make it years. We got to keep doing it so you can say the same thing about me years.
Exactly. Well, we're getting close. We're getting close to podcasting.
I know, that is
together for
true.
a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know it's been sporadic, but we go back a little ways now. So, yeah, we have
There's
to keep
history there.
There's history there. Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Well, stay tuned for a new episode of our regular show coming up very soon, and it's a very special anniversary that we're going to talk about. We've been doing a lot of anniversaries this year, and we have another one, so think about what that might be. I'm not going to give away any more, so I'll see you soon on the Jiminy Crickets podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
I have listened to the cuckoo, his